So last week we are discussing about X and click. What is the difference between both of them? We discussed about buffers and we build one test case as well. So today let us see something else. Okay. So yeah. So last week we discussed about the different types of weights as well. So here we used the weight on action mode as well. Okay. So now today what I'm going to do is I will go ahead and open Amazon.com website. Okay. Don't change. Okay. Yeah. So here I have a search bar and let me show you. When I started typing, see, when I started typing COMPU, automatically one dynamic drop down has come up with suggestions. Correct? Now let us scan this search bar and give the input value from Tosca and see if that particular dynamic thing comes up or not. So first I will build a test case here. Send keys, I will name it as, and then let us scan it. Okay. So shift right click, scan HTML. Select the application. Just say select on screen here and go to this one. This is the place where we enter. I'm just scanning only one thing there. I'm done. So what are the properties of this control? It has some ID and it has some tag as input. The ID is 2 tab search text box, something, whatever be it is. I will just say finish screen and then close my scan. Some module came up here, Amazon.com. I'm simply dragging this and dropping it here. All I need to enter is computer and I want to see whether any um, dynamic drop down comes up. So I have plain URL amazon.com with no fields entered there, and now I am trying to run this test step. So it will go ahead and enter the computer value in that. See, did any suggestion come up? Any dynamic drop down come up? No, right?
Yes, sir.
This is why, because whenever for some fields what happens is developers will design them in such a way that whenever we are sending some keyboard strokes from your keyboard, right, whenever you are clicking on some button or something, then some simulation happens. So because of this missing simulation only, this dynamic drop down did not come up. Now let us try in this way. Okay. So how can I add that missing simulation from Tosca side? So for that, all we have is one another internal function, that is send keys functionality. Let us see that. When I say function, usually it starts with curly braces, the only thumb rule that we have, and simply say SE. See, you got it. Send keys. What is it? It usually helps us to do. This expression helps you to specify combination of keyboard commands or to send commands to control if the technology does not support the direct input of certain commands. You can also use send keys delay if you want to delay them, or else you can have a test configuration parameter which you can see later, no worries. And the syntax is send keys, square braces, and that particular keyboard command. So for suppose if you want to send control and A, instead of control you can send a cap icon. So cap icon followed by A is what given here. And now let us take a easy one first. So let us say send keys, square braces, whatever commands that we want to pass, computer, and then close both the braces. See, this is how it looks like. And now simply run this. So this time see, automatically the dynamic drop down has come up. This is the difference between directly sending an input value and sending it through the send keys. Sometimes you may need to send it through send keys. Not only the input value, sometimes you may have to send some control button or enter button and all, right? So how can you click on them? Then this send keys might be useful sometimes. Okay. Mm,
Ramya,
yes.
hold on. This Raghu here. Yeah, if you find the computer, right? So the list of the all the links will be available. Suppose if I want to select any one of this, how can I computer mouse or computer paper?
Yeah, then please do scan this and then select them. Okay,
Okay,
we did not yet discuss about the generic way of scanning. So for time being, you can,
okay,
excuse me. Yeah, for time being, you can scan them in a hard coded way and then use them. Okay. Mm, okay. So moving on to the next topic. So today let us see what are the different date functions that are available in Tosca. Okay. So there are actually so many date functions. First, I will add a test step for creation of buffer so that we can see what are the different date functions that we have. So let's name it as first as date. What is this date function? Why is it so important? So actually, first I will show you. Usually your date function is something which is in this way, like curly braces DATE, and after this curly braces DATE, it has three sets of square braces. Okay, and then close the curly braces. What are these three sets of square braces? Is the first square brace represents the base date. By default, this is today's date. That means, okay, I will tell you what is base date. The second square brace represents the offset, which is nothing but the calculations that you want to perform. The third square brace represents the date format, how the particular date should be and all. Okay. Now, what is this base date? What is this offset? What is date format? Usually, for suppose, now I say, Raghu, please print me tomorrow's date. So, what is that he has to do? He has to add one day to the current date. Am I correct? So then base date would be by default today's date only. Offset is nothing but the calculation that he needs to do. In order to add one date, so simply he will give plus 1D. So that my date, what is the existing date, plus 1D is what is printed. And this is nothing but the output format how it has to be. I'll write some functions and then I will show you to you. Okay. So first by default, I am showing what is the one that actually comes up. when you give all these three square braces blank. Okay, or else you can skip giving these three braces also, even that is fine. So this is the normal date. For tomorrow's date, all you need to say is curly braces DATE. First square brace represents the base date, which is by today's value only. That is nothing but the default value we can take. The second square brace represents the offset, nothing but our calculation. So plus 1D is what tomorrow is. And then third square brace represents the output format. I want my date to be displayed as months hash days hash years. All should be like 2-digit numbers, not more than that. Okay, so this is how the month syntax is capital M, days syntax is small d, year syntax is small y. I will tell you why as well. Okay, why we are taking this format, I will tell you. Okay, and then I will say some other. What is this base date used for? For suppose you want to perform certain calculations. Now I asked you one question like, okay, think that you are in 1991 December 6. Okay, so to this please add 3 months, okay, 4 days and 5 years, and tell me the output date. So at this point of time, your base date is 1991 December 6. Okay, not today's date. That is when the first square brace is useful. So then how do you give it is date, the first square brace, it is nothing but 1991 December 6. So 06 dot 12 dot 1991. Okay, this is the base date that we have to take. The second one is the calculations that we want to do. So we want to add 3 months, 4 days and 5 years. So let's give that. So plus, sorry, yeah. So plus 5 days plus 3 months plus how many years do we need to add? So 4 days and 5 years. So here it is 4 and here it is 5 years. Close this, and the output format I don't have any, I will take the normal output format only and then close it. So this is how you can work with the dates. So first let's run this and see how the output for this comes up. Right click, expand all, and I'm just keeping this here. See, the first one is the default date, that is 03/05/2021, and the next one is the tomorrow's date. So I added just one day to it, and I changed my target date format, that is nothing but the output date format, which is the month, 2 digits month, so 05 slash dates 04 slash 2 digits of the year, so 21. And this is the calculated date that I performed. So what is the base date I have taken? 1991 December 6. So for December, if you add for 3 months, what it would be? February, right? December, right? Jan, Feb, March it would be. So March, and I would add 5 years. 92 March, from 92 to 5 years it would be 97. And then we are adding 4 days to 6. So it would be 10. So that is the reason you got the output as 10th March 1997. Is it clear now?
Yes, Ramya.
Okay. So now, what is that actually is, there is some issues here which we did not actually discuss. You can ask me one question. Ramya, why did you give the format in this way? Will it accept if you are giving another format? If you are giving some other format, right, it will throw you an error. I will tell you. See, I'm giving slash instead of dot. Okay, and now let's try to run the same test step. The first two it will pass, but the third one will fail. See, it failed. What is the error we got? See, for the third one, the value 06/12/1991 cannot be interpreted as date. This is because, as per Tosca knows that the date format that it has to use is strictly in this way only. The date dot month dot year. This is the predefined format that Tosca has. And whenever we pass the dates or something in this syntax only, it will understand. Then how can I change it so that Tosca will understand any dates that I've said? You can change that format. Okay, so how can you do that is you should add a additional test configuration parameter. So basically, what are these test configuration parameters? Why do I need to add something over there? So usually, what happens is we have two types of environments. One is the single user environment and another one is the multi-user environment. Until now, we are working on the single user environment only. But by this weekend, hopefully, we will migrate to multi-user environment. What is the difference is here, you are the only person, single person working on it. Here, on the same project, means on the same folders, there will be multiple people, like your entire team will be working on it together. Okay, so there comes some difference. So whenever multiple people are working on it, it is not like you can go and change your settings or you can change something and all. You have to abide by the rules so that everybody is on the same level. If you go and change settings in your machine, that changes in the settings won't reflect in other laptops, like other people's machine who are in your team. So what will happen? Some test cases will pass in your machine, but the same test case will fail in the other's machine. So which is nothing but again another issue. You are not a proper automation tester if it is not working in all the machines. So then that is the reason you cannot change your settings if you are working in multi-user. So then how can you change the settings? For suppose you are saying that I cannot change my settings by going into project and settings, but still if I want to make some changes so that that particular test case works, how can I do that? That can be achieved by using this test configuration parameters. Again, these test configuration parameters are also of two types. Okay, one is like system defined, they call it. Another one is the user defined. We will see this user defined at the later point of time. Okay, first now let's see what are these system defined. Coming to this system defined test configuration parameters, you might see in other programming languages and all. They call it as keywords, right? So if you use for is a keyword, okay. Similarly, what else we have? If is a keyword, while is a keyword. There are so many keywords. In the same way, there are some system defined test configuration parameters. Means like these are the names that you have to use in order to change these settings, and this is the syntax that you need to follow. So in that way they have it. So for the date related, we have two important test configuration parameters. So right click and this purple color icon is the test configuration parameter icon. So already we saw one test configuration parameter, that is browser. So it will tell you which browser you are using to run in order to run that particular test case. In the same way, these date formats, like one is the Tosca date format. This is nothing but the default date format that Tosca has, and another one is the target date format. So this is nothing but the output date format that you want to get. Input date format, output date format, simple. Okay, one is Tosca date format, another one is target date format. And always the syntax should be in this way only. The first letter D and F, these three are the capital letters. Okay, and the value for this is what we give it. Now you can ask me another question. Ramya, here in this buffer, in this date function itself, we are giving the target date format. Am I correct? So then, why do you need to add an additional test configuration parameter? It is optional. There is no mandatory that you have to add both of them and all. Okay. Sometimes if you have the target date format in this way across all your test steps, then instead of adding it again and again in this way, in this place, you can simply add it as a test configuration parameter. It is optional. It is up to you which one do you prefer. If you prefer using it in this way, then prefer do it by using this way only. If you prefer using it in that way, just go for it. Anything is fine. Okay, now I will show you. So our Tosca date format, here we used dd slash slash yyy. Okay, so date slash month slash 4 digits of the year. And what should be our output format? Let's say YY hyphen MM hyphen DD. Something like this. Okay. And now let's run our test case and see how the outputs come. So click on this details tab and just say run. And let's see if it runs. Last time it actually failed, but this time it ran successfully because we gave the base date format. And see the how the output looks like. Here we specifically mentioned that we need output in this format, so that is the reason you got this, or else you would get it in this way only. See, year hyphen month hyphen date, the same. And here now it took this base date also. See, is it clear to everybody?
Ramya, can you move to test configuration one?
Yes, I'm here.
Here, month should be in capital.
Yes, only month will be in capital, because what happens is, yeah, we did not yet discuss. I will show you. Actually, we have dates, hours, minutes, years, and all this, right? So, coming to minutes, minutes syntax has small m, but months syntax is capital M. Similarly, for hours also, for 0 to 24 hours, it would one would be capital H, another one is 1 to 12 hours, that would be small h, I think. Let us see that. 1 second. Date Tosca. Yeah, this is the small d represents the days, W represents the work days, capital M represents months, whereas small m represents seconds, small h represents 1 to 12 hours, capital H represents 0 to 23 hours, small s represents the seconds. Okay?
Okay, Ramya. Clear.
I gave you this URL link as well in the chat windows. You can refer this. Actually, one second. Tosca 14. Yeah, sorry. This is the correct one actually. But both are same anyways. Please use the second one if you are trying to navigate. Yes. Okay. So, yeah, any other questions that you have with the date functions until now? Anybody else?
Yeah, Ramya, I have one doubt.
Yes, Gayatri.
Yeah, in before creating this test configuration, you have created test cases for base date as 606.12.1991, right?
Yes.
And you said that is a Tosca default format.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in tomorrow's test case, the output format is different, right?
Yes, because here we gave it in a different way.
Yeah, then when we run all these three test cases before creating test configurations, the tomorrow test case has run successfully, right? With that
Oh,
format slash
one second.
format.
One second. I'll show you. And one more important thing, we cannot delete this test configuration parameters. If you want to remove them, you should say reset to default value. Right click and select this reset to default value. Okay. Now I removed both the test configuration parameters in this date underscore one, and this is the one I have. So now, what is your question, Gayatri? Can you come again?
Yeah, in tomorrow's test case, the output format is month slashes, right?
Yes.
As per your what you said is the dots will be the default format for Tosca for dates.
Yes.
But if we gave here slash, but also in the tomorrow's test case has run successfully.
Yes.
Yeah, that is what's the difference between it failed in base date test case, but why it has successfully ran in tomorrow's test case?
Okay. In tomorrow's here, we are not giving any input. We are taking the output date.
Okay.
And here we gave the output date format, means how it should represent us. Here, what did we do in this base date one? We
We
gave
are
an
giving
input in
input.
our format.
Okay.
So then Tosca would not understand, right? It should perform some calculations.
Okay. If we are giving any input to the Tosca, it will not take that as slashes.
No, no, it will not take. The default one is the dots.
Dots. Okay. But if we can give it as a output format.
Yes, you can give anything in the output.
Okay. Thank you.
And if you want to change this input also, then add a test configuration parameter.
Okay.
Tosca date format is the one.
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay. So along with these date functions, there are a lot of date functions that are available. Let me show you.
Huh? नाही राहून दे ना तू कुठे चालला
Okay. So the next date function we are discussing is edit. What is this edit and all this? Sorry, it is edit. What is the difference that you have here with this a day? There are so many functions with a day and l day, all this. Okay, you can just explore yourself as well. I will show you some samples. So when you say curly braces, see here itself you will have a day. What is that it say? It shows you the first three letters of that particular day name. Okay, Simply give it and see what is the output. Same with L day. So L day will give you the complete syntax of it. See? So L day, it is nothing but it is the day according to the current settings. So when you say L day, okay, and then give the square braces, and then if you pass the default whatever date that you want, or else by default it will take today's date only, then it will give you the exact result of it. Similarly, L date. L date means it will give you the particular day, comma, the particular month, date, month, and year. So there are some different functions available. Okay, so all these functions are not only this L date and all. Let's see here. Actually, it has its here. So the first default one is the date, which will give you the full date. Time, this will give you the current time. Next is date time, nothing but our current timestamp. Day, current day. Month, current month. Year, current year. Okay, and the next one is month first, month last, quarter first, trimester first, half year first. These are nothing but you can understand by looking at the names only. Month first is the first day of the current month, last day of the current month. Quarterly, current first day of this current existing quarter. Trimester, like the 3 months before. Okay, you know the difference between quarter and trimester, right? So if you say you are in March, and if I say quarter, Jan would be your quarter first. But whereas if you are in the month of April, and if I say your trimester first, then Feb would be the one. Okay, so accordingly it will choose the first 3 months or the quarter levels. Next, half year first. It is nothing but your half year first. After this, then we have this L date, L day, L month, L year. This is nothing but here they gave you the difference. See, L date means it will show you the complete one. L day, only that particular day. L month, only that month. L year will give you that particular year number. Okay. N day, N month, and N year. This is nothing the same way. It represents in the form of numbers. N is for numbers. L is for letters. Okay. And A is for the alphabets. That is the reason they have L day, L month, L year. The same way N day, N month, N year, and A day and A month. Okay. So these are the different date formats that you have. Okay. And now this is the common thing which we already learned. Base date, offset, and format, we already know about that. Okay, and these also we already discussed. And after this I have one small question for you. Okay, after learning all these things, what I want to do is I want you to get me the day time, and the time should be like when you say, I'll show you here. I'm saying time, right? So when I want time function, simply say ti. So I got my time function, close the curly braces, and now I'm just running this test step. Okay, there is some mistake I have done. Yeah, because of this. I'm copying these two buffers and I'll paste them here. Okay, I'll delete this. Okay. And now let me run this. Okay, so expand this. Yeah, forget about these three. A day also we saw, right? Monday and all. Okay. So if you look at the time, what is it being represented? 0912. Okay. So this default time is the 24-hour time format. Okay. And think like you are somewhere in the afternoon. So then how do you represent it in the 12-hour format. I don't, by default, it is the 24-hour format. So just explore and tell me how do you represent it in the 12-hour format. This is also one of the interview questions. Okay? Is it clear? Any questions? Any doubts? Hello?
Yes, Ramya.
Yeah. So with this, I will stop today's session. If you have any questions, please do let me know.
Okay, Ramya.